When you've got a problem in production, it's super important to understand dependencies, relationships, and that's why we love traces. So what I'm going to show you today is how we've made significant improvements with our service map and the overall investigation flow from an alert for instrumented services. And I'm going to walk through a couple of examples. One is you receive an alert. Where do you go from there? How do you identify the problem? And secondly, I'm going to show you how that flow works even if you use custom dashboards as your single pane of glass. So have a look below in the description if you're viewing this on social media. We have a bunch of blog posts about all the stuff we've done in here. So I really hope you enjoy this video and can't wait to show you. So let me show you how these improvements are going to help you in your day-to-day activities. And to illustrate this, let's take an example where you're on call and you receive an alert. So the alert says there's been a failed transaction breach of over 5% for the front-end service. We can see the service name, we can see which environment it's in, we can see which endpoint's been hit. And the changes we've made here are that you can see that all your red metrics are here now in a row. We can see what's the symptom, first thing you need to know. There's a bunch of failures. You can see when it happened. You can also see correlated throughput and latency. And you can see that there aren't really any notable correlations of interest here. Throughput is the same, so you know there's not a traffic spike. Latency is the same, so it doesn't seem like saturation on the infrastructure, but we'll see. And the next thing I can do with this next improvement is I can see my dependencies. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and you can see immediately the front end service is highlighted with what it's dependent on. And what's really helpful now in this map is that I can see what needs attention. So we can see there's some alerts here, there's some alerts here, there's some alerts here. So I'm immediately thinking, okay, well, there's probably something going along this critical path here. And to test this hypothesis, I'm going to quickly just click on the edges here, and I can see, oh yes, failed transaction rate has gone up really high. Is that different to other services? Yeah, that's fine. So there's obviously something going on here. And I can view the checkout service. I can quickly view what transactions are going through there. And I can see, yeah, that's having a sad time as well. And I'm pretty sure it's a shipping service at this state, but to prove it, let me just click on the edge. Yep, 60%, that's gone up. What about payment? Fine, fine, fine. So I can do this all really quickly now on the map. So I'm going to go into the shipping service and, as we thought, sad times, and get quote endpoints having a really bad time. So let's go into there. Okay, so I could do a few things here. I could start digging into the trace waterfall, but I'm going to show you what's new. So we can see the problem started around here. I want to try and break down these red metrics by different dimensions, like maybe availability zone, maybe region, maybe the container. But I've got a hypothesis that there's probably a Kubernetes deployment going wrong here. But let's test that. So I can simply click Open Traces and Discover. And now I see the same red metrics as before, but I have this amazing button now, which just allows me to break this down. And I'm going to break this down by deployment. And there we go, Kubernetes deployment name, that's an OTel attribute. And we can see differences. I can see patterns. I can see latency looks really high for something called shipping canary, but for shipping, it's fine. We can see the throughput's about the same, so it looks like there's a canary deployment, which is probably going wrong. And if we look at the error rate, I can see, yes, this deployment is very different. I'm going to check and see, what is this? Is this a new version or something? What's going on? Or is it like a minor version? I don't know. And if I have a look here, oh yeah, okay, so version 2.3 is having a very bad time. Version 2.2 was fine. And if we just go back to the deployment, let's go here. Let's just check that those two things are the same. The deployment is correlated or is the new version. So I'm going to click on my shipping deployment here for Canary, filter for it, and let's just put the version. There we go. And yes, it's all on 2.3. So I've really quickly been able to go from an alert to understanding the symptom, analyzing the dependencies, following the trail here, down to a pretty solid hypothesis there's something going on with the Kubernetes deployment here. So next you're going to see how you can do this, but if you're using a custom dashboard. So let's now take another scenario where you've got an on-call SRE, and let's say that the actual best place to debug your service isn't through the flow I just showed you a minute ago, but it's actually in your custom dashboard. That's your single pane of glass. How do you help that SRE get hold of that? Well, it's really easy. All you have to do is attach the dashboard to the alert rule. And that's what I've done. So when they receive the alert, you can see related dashboards. And here we go. There's a link to that dashboard. And if I open it, you're going to see custom dashboards that you've made here, for example, with all the things you want in it. But what's different here is that you can now see our service map is embeddable in dashboards. So I can do a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to first make it full screen, and that's very nice and easy to use now. And you can see here that there's this bunch of quick options here. So I can do things like search for things in the page. I can change the orientation. So let me do, like, if I did check, for example, you can see I can search for that. If I type in product, you can see I can just flip between things. So really cool controls there. But what's really going to be helpful for me now is to try and figure out a critical path very quickly. And I can do that just by clicking on alert status. And now we've immediately filtered out things which don't have alerts. So I can see here the front end's having the problem, checkout, shipping. So a really effective way to try and nail down that critical path. And you can do the same things I showed you before. You can click and open the service. You can open another service. You can drill into it. So really good flows here if you're using custom dashboards. So there you have it. We've shown you how you can go from receiving a notification to identifying and debugging dependencies on the alert detail page, and how you can do this even if you use custom dashboards. So have a look below if you're viewing this on social media. You can see a bunch of blog posts about all the stuff we've done in APM. So can't wait to see how you get on with it.